Harriet Tubman once said, "If I could have convinced more slaves that they were slaves, I would have freed thousands more." He's no longer exclusively black with scar tissues carved into his back. Don't look for him chained to a plantation looking for salvation in some proclamation. He no longer sings old Negro spirituals and view the overseer as a rival. Yet, he's still fearful of his survival. You'll no longer find him living in a barn dripping with sweat, soothing his soul with a harmonica. No, the 21st century slave now goes by the name of Bob or maybe even Erica. A mental wreck, scared to death, chained to a paycheck, living in middle America. He's no longer fearful of master's whip that leave them permanent cuts in his back. However, this new slave is scared to death of corporate cutbacks. You no longer need to hold him to the plantation by force, because this new slave is terrified of being outsourced. And it's asinine how his efforts are undermined as he trades his time for nickels and dimes while his health declines, simply because he's petrified of the unemployment line. And with that, he's fine. Because even though he knows that dead-end job is garbage, he still hasn't figured out a better way to come up with the mortgage. This slave is no longer afraid of the thumbscrew, because he understands that you don't have to physically be present for them to screw you. He's been on the job for over 20 years and he's dying from the tension, because he knows their intention. He's just one board meeting away before they mention that he's losing the retention of his pension. So of course he's weak in the knees, trying to get ideas from Who Moved My Cheese and Tuesday with Maury, because these corporate raiders don't care about his story. So he picks up Time magazine and realizes that the American dream seems like it's no longer pristine. Can't shake this monkey off his back, because he knows that at 65 he'll be given a gold watch, which is kind of ironic, because after spending 40 years building someone else's biz, he still don't know what time it is. He has never developed the greatness of his mind, so like any other corporate slave, he's simply doing time. And he still hasn't gotten it after all these years, that if you're not building your dreams, someone else will underpay you to build theirs. And even though we understand that no one hired him to make him rich, and if that's his goal, then at some point he's going to have to make a switch. But he's chained to the imagined security of a paycheck, being detained by the details of his desk. And he doesn't really mean to be rude to you, he's just mad because he's chained to a cubicle. Yet instead of realizing that he has options and he's definitely blessed, he's focused on what's not working and he's definitely stressed. So on the weekends, he uses nightclubs and sporting events to distract his time, not knowing that he could change his destiny by emptying his wallet in his mind. And if ignorance is bliss, then blissfully will he go to the grave, because here's the man who has lived all his life not realizing that he's a slave. But on the other side of the cubicle, there's another employee who's basically guilty of treason. She's clever beyond reason. Yes, she shows up to work every day, but at night, she's plotting her escape at these network marketing meetings, smiling with her supervisors if everything is fine, while tenaciously building her downline. With send-out cards, she's plugged into a viable system. This is beyond network marketing, she's relationship building. Everyone that she encounters, she gets their information, and on their lives, she's making an impact, son. And you and I both know that impact increases income. She's sending out cards to her co-workers and even her kids' teachers. Now there's a difference to the way that they receive her. They love the good feelings that the very thought of her evoke. Amongst all the bills, hers is a card of hope. And every day she's sending out these good feelings into the universe. And in return, the universe rewards her by breaking her economic curse. And she's reminded that the greatest among you will always serve. So she served by sharing her opportunity with friends and family alike. And her business is taking on a life of its own. Because something as simple as sending out a positive message daily is the very reason her paychecks have grown. So she's not concerned about some shrinking pension plan. On her vision board, she had 6 properties and a multi-million-dollar mansion. In her journal, she has a timeline and a step-by-step plan of action. Homegirl is breaking down her goals like they were in proper fraction. She's feeding her mind a diet of Les Brown, Jim Rohn, and Brian Tracy. She said, "Kirk, the economy is going through a phase that simply doesn't faze me." She ignores the first employee as he tells her, "Oh, that will never work. And you can't make any money messing with these marketing networks. Baby, that's just a dream. You're involved in a pyramid scheme. Forget about that. Give this job all of your attention, and after you've been here 40 years, I'm sure somebody, hopefully maybe, will give you a pension." But with arguments like these, she doesn't waste her time, because she's well aware that nothing dies quicker than a new idea in a closed mind. So she continues to grow her business as the others tighten their financial belt, because she understands that trading time for money can never create wealth. And working 40 hours building someone else's dream is not a viable way to stack legitimate cream. She has no worries, no stress, because with send out cards, she's naturally applying the golden rule of business success. She understands it is not her client's job to remember her, but it's her job to make sure that they never forget. So sister girl said to me, let them go ahead and curse it, but I know that it works if you work it. And I'm too blessed to be stressed. My testimony came out of my test. My message was born out of my mess. So I know that preparation always precedes opportunity. So today I'm embracing the ideology of possibilities, because I know that my income is directly related to my philosophy and not the economy. She said, Kirk, ideas create millionaires. And all my life I've been praying to God just to give me one shot. I don't want to die in mediocrity. Let me strike a telling blow. And he replied that unless you do something beyond what you've already mastered, you will never grow. So instead of cursing the system, referring to my boss as a bastard, I've decided from this day forth, my life I will master. So I'm sticking to send out cards like glue. In other words, I'm a slave to my freedom. The question is, whose slave are you?